how to get people to listen to you. On this episode of wari-Q, we touch upon this very important topic. It is not funny how many people write into me saying, how do I become an effective communicator? How do I say things with the same level of gravitas, with the same level of depth, with the same level of impact that people will listen to me and be like, oh my God, you just said the things that I wanted to hear. You're so powerful, you're so meaningful, you're so thoughtful, you're so impactful. I want to get to that spot. How can I be in that spot? And I tell them that it is something that can be developed into a skill. How you speak, how you communicate, and your ability to get people to listen to you is a skill, and perhaps the most important skill in today's world. And it starts with an admission. It starts with the admission that this thing right here, your throat, these vocal cords, are just so powerful because right here lies literally every bit of communication power that you have. Whatever comes out of this is what can impact people meaningfully, hurt people deeply, or just completely change the course of someone's view, someone's life. So take it with that seriousness, that responsibility. And here is my 5 tips on how you can get someone to listen to you. Number 1, the best and the most powerful way for someone to listen to you is if you listen to them. Listen to what people have to say, not with the intent of replying, not with the intent of answering, not with the intent of solving, not with the intent of offering your opinion, but listen with the intent to understand. How often has it happened that someone's telling you something, maybe sharing their life story, a problem, you hear it, you instantly get an answer in your head, and then you stop listening. Because all you want to do is just give away that answer. All you want to do is just fix that problem. All you want to do is just solve that thing that you in your head have just cracked. You're the smart one. You figured it out. And you want to share that with the level of enthusiasm and energy that you all have. And you think you're doing the right thing. You're telling yourself, this is exactly it. This is it. This is exactly what will solve everything. And now he or she will listen to me and things will be over. You stop listening. Because all you want to do is just respond. All you want to do is just answer. And when you give away that answer, people will be like, were you even listening? And that's when you realize you weren't. You switched off. Just as you heard what you wanted to hear and you came up with the answer, it's like, aha, I can stop listening because I now know how to solve that. And the first thing you have to do, if you have to get to a spot where people listen to you, is to listen to them with the intent to understand, with the intent to understand what is it that they're saying. Number 2, when you are speaking to people, you have 2 choices. You can either speak in a manner that whatever is it that you're saying is your way. Take it or leave it. This is what I think you should be doing. This is my prescription. This is my process. This is how you should be doing things. Or 2, offer them as an insight to your experiences. Here is how I have benefited from him. Here is how I have gone about living life. Here is how I have deeply experienced what is the impact of these processes, these steps, these things that I'm telling you, and it's for you to consider them. I am just telling you what happened in my life. I'm just telling you on how I go about living my life, and I don't even know whether that's applicable to you or not. So all that I can offer you is something that comes from my own experience, and I am not imposing that on you. Go back to the time you were having a conversation with your parents. They are always telling you things as if they are living your life. And that's why you stop listening. You're like, I don't want to hear you, Dad. I don't want to hear you, Mom, because you're not getting it. You just don't understand what I'm trying to say. All you're telling me is that this is how life works. This is what you should be doing. This is how we have done it. And this is the only way to do it. And that's why I will not listen to you. I don't want to. I may be pretending to listen to you, but you know what? I've shut myself out. I am no longer listening to you. And that's the same thing that happens if you speak to people in a manner that you're suggesting what you know and what you've done is the only way possible, is the only way out. That's the only prescription. Instead, offer your thoughts as a reflection of your life experiences. Number 3, step in their shoes. Step in their shoes and try and imagine what is it that could be going on in their head. What are the different contexts, the different situations, the different circumstances that they spend their time in as against what you spend your time in? It's like you speaking to someone who's joined the company young and you want to tell them what is it that you feel will be very useful advice for them. But you can't be possibly doing that from your own platform, from your level. You have to do that from the level of someone who's fresh and young into the company. Maybe it's their first job. So go back to the time when you were in your first job and try and remember what is it that you felt, the emotions that were going on within. That's what you have to respond to. That's what you have to cater to. Because suddenly, when you begin to express yourself, not as if you are you, but as if you are them, they get it. They instantly feel like you're relatable. They instantly feel like you're speaking to them. They will say things like, this is what I wanted to hear today. This is so what I'm feeling right now. Oh my God, are you reading my mind? Do you know what I'm going through? No, you don't. But what you're trying to do is trying to think of what they might be going through. You're putting yourself in their shoes, and whenever you do that, you're getting to a point of such relevance to them that they will listen to you like nobody else. Number 4, when was the last time you were having a conversation with your friend and your friend instantly said, oh my God, that's such a shitty thing to do. Why would you do that? And you instantly switched off. When was the last time you were having a conversation with your boss, with your manager, and they'd be like, oh my God, that's such a lazy thing to do. Why would you even do that? And you instantly switched off. You basically will never listen to someone who's constantly judging you. You're never going to listen to anyone who's trying to force you into some sort of a box, in some sort of a construct, in some sort of a definition. And if you do the same thing, you're going to be acting and experiencing the same. If you want people to listen to you, stop judging them. If you want people to listen to you, stop comporting them. Comporting? If you want people to listen to you, stop boxing them into compartments. That's what I meant when I said comporting. If you want to listen, if you want them to listen to you, then you have to get to a point where you are completely objective in your assessment and understanding of what is it that they're going through. So many times I have had people who approach me with their problems, and the first thing that they say is, I hope you don't judge me. And I feel sorry for them, because I know that that's coming from a point where they have been judged in the past. They're not judging me thinking that I will judge them. They are just reflecting upon their past, their experience, all the things that have told them this is what most people do. They judge. And you don't want to be one of them. You don't want to be one of them, because the minute you start judging, the minute you start calling people names, the minute you start stereotyping, the minute you start making them feel how they expected everyone else to be treating them, they will stop listening to you, and you would have lost it. And number 5, don't complain. Don't come up with excuses. If you want people to listen to you, you will never get past them if you're complaining. If you want people to listen to you, you will never get past them if you're making excuses. Because here's the truth about complaining and excuses. They are not what the reality is. They are just a construct in our head of what we think is preventing us from getting to the reality. What we think is preventing us from getting to our goal. When you say, oh, you know what, I couldn't do this task because I just got late in the day and then I was really tired and then my scooter broke down and then my bike was giving me trouble, my internet wasn't working, my hardware wasn't giving me support, my phone broke down, whatnot. It's as if that is an explanation for not doing the work. But it's not, right? The work wasn't done. The work wasn't done, in which case the excuse is just the gap between where you should have been and where you are. And when you share that, people stop listening. People will not listen to you, because who wants to listen to someone who's constantly complaining? Who wants to listen to someone who's always negative? Who wants to listen to someone who's always bringing people down? Someone who is always making other people seem lesser than who they are. They don't want to, and they will not. So the fifth and the most effective way is, if you want people to listen to you, then stop complaining, stop being negative, stop giving out excuses, stop being the person you don't want them to be. When you go through these 5 things, you realize it's really simple to get people to listen to you, but that's the truth of life. It's simple, but it's not easy. Going through these 5 steps is not easy. It will take intense effort. It will take intense habit forming for you to be the person who's constantly listening actively, who is not prescribing, saying that this is my way and this is the only way, who's not making it seem like I don't understand what you're going through, is not someone who's judging you, who's boxing you, who's calling you names. Then you will have a shot of getting people to listen to you. That's when you will take the first step towards effective communication. When you do that, there's one final thing that you always have to bear in mind, and that is the body language and the energy that you display. If you come across as enthusiastic, if you come across as eager, if you come across as curious, if you come across as someone who genuinely wants to engage, wants to have a conversation, then people will listen to you. They will listen to you because they will know that you mean well. They will genuinely feel as if this is someone who gets them, and that will open the doors for the conversation. If there are any other tips that you feel have worked effectively for you to get people to listen to you, I would love to hear that from you. Please subscribe to the channel so that you get to know each and every time a new video comes up, which is on Wednesdays and Saturdays. And until next week, I'll see you all. God bless. Stay safe. This is Ankur Warikoo signing off.